Welcome back to the Celtics Nation Rise recap. I'm Griffin Aldrich. Alongside me, we have David Caires, and your Boston Celtics have defeated the Detroit Pistons with a final score of 117 to 114. David, what an incredible win! In-season tournament win, cuts the Pistons' 13-game win streak win. This is big. This is big. I don't know about you, but the whole time I was watching the game, I was like, all right, it's close. Like, this is such a great game. But then the Boston Celtics ended up defeating the Pistons, too, the night before Turkey Day, the night before Thanksgiving. So, what a grateful Thanksgiving gift. But, David, what are your initial thoughts after this huge win by the Boston Celtics?
Yeah, I've said it a thousand times, but this team in this season just feels weirder and weirder with every game that the season continues to go on for. So we're 18 games in. Obviously, happy that the Celtics are now 2 games over 500. We now hit the 10-win mark on the season, but we lose games to the Jazz and the Nets. We just lost the Nets Friday night, and then we come back 5 days later and we beat the second hottest team in the NBA, in the Detroit Pistons, behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. As you said, Griffin, the Pistons haven't lost in a few weeks. They were on a 13-game winning streak heading into this one, and I figured that this would be a close game, given that we played them very well in that uh, early season game last month where we had a 17-point lead early, and then obviously the Pistons came back to win that one. But we matched up with the Pistons pretty well, so I figured this would be a close one. I didn't know if we'd have what it takes to pull it out, but I mean, obviously we did, and it definitely wasn't a perfect game from start to finish, but this was a great NBA game to watch, and I'm obviously happy that my favorite team came out on top.
Right there. And the big thing for me too is like, you think the Celtics have established their identity, whether it's they're going to be a bottom tier team or they're going to be really good. And the Boston Celtics have not really established that identity because, like you mentioned, David, there are games where we go out there and we lose, and there's games that we go out there and have a phenomenal game with, like this Pistons game. I mean, this Pistons game, we didn't expect to beat this team. When we were talking yesterday on episode 76, go check it out, by the way, Thanksgiving special, we all predicted that they lost to the Pistons. And then we come out and we beat the Pistons. I mean, what a win. What a win. It was incredible. But if you wanted to get into quarters for us, too, because the quarters are kind of even, and it was a fun one.
I'm muted. Pistons won the first quarter, 30-24, um, and then the Celtics came back and won the second quarter, 33-28. Third quarter, the Celtics won at 29-25, and then both teams scored 31 points in that fourth quarter. Really, just a game of runs. Like, obviously, the biggest lead the Pistons had was, I believe, 10. And then the Celtics were hovering around like 1 to 2 point leads the whole game. And then they stretched out to 7 at one point. But this was really a back and forth game. And really, we'll get into this later. But I mean, shout out to like Derek White for waking up in that second half, like Jaylen Brown heating up at the end of that first half. I mean, everyone had their time to shine today. And just again, an all around fun basketball game to watch, and a good battle from start to finish for sure. Like there is I mean, I don't have the exact number, but probably right around 20 lead changes, if not more. It obviously came down at the end, the final few seconds. So just a great game from start to finish. Had the moments defensively, had the moments offensively, obviously with over 230 combined points in this game. But yeah, I mean, even split where, or I mean, the Celtics won 2 quarters, the Pistons won 1 quarter, and then there was a draw in that fourth and final quarter. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff there.
Yeah, and you mentioned one name in Derek White, who I think this is the best game he's had all season long, and and we could get into that conversation later in the recap, but just to watch him play, and it's like had so many concerns about him, and it's kind of like he's woken up. And it was a fun one to watch for Derek White. And again, for us being Celtics fans, also, it was a fun one to watch because Amari Williams got a lot of playing time. And David, you stressed this earlier in the game too, and you said it right in our group chat about I don't know exactly what you said. You could quote it too, but you were there. What did you say to the group chat? Because I want you to quote it word for word.
I was pleasantly surprised that Williams got minutes because in episode 76, I was saying that I felt like he was not going to play at all today and maybe in the Minnesota game on Saturday. But he gave us 15 minutes. And I mean, he had only 1 point and 3 rebounds. But in that game, I really liked his defensive intensity. Like, he truly seems like he could be a rim protector in the future. Like, every time someone floated a ball at that hoop, he was jumping miles high into the air to try and block it. He got a block in that third quarter. Finally, his efforts paid off. But I liked what I saw out of him in 15 minutes.
Yeah, and a question I want to ask, and we don't have to get too in depth into it, but do you think the doors closed now for Xavier Tillman and Chris Boucher after this?
For Chris Boucher, no, just because he played on Sunday. But for Tillman, I feel like it's like the door is hovering like right about to fully close. It's like 99% of the way closed. Like it's like you're when your parent wishes you good night and they're like slowly closing the door. It's like that last little part where it's got to make it through like the framing and then slam shut. I think we're right at that point, if that makes sense. That crazy analogy I'm saying. That may not make sense. Let me know in the comment section below. We appreciate the engagement, but um, I think it's. I mean, if Tillman's not going to get minutes when Keita is not playing and Garza is off the floor, if those minutes are now going to a rookie that we drafted at the end of the second round that started the season up in Maine, I mean, yeah, what's his purpose on this team? So I'm fully on the whole thing of Tillman is he has no future with this team. I'm willing to say that right now, and it sucks. I like Tillman. You could see Tillman in the game when the camera cut to the bench, like he is all in on this team. Like he there's no bigger there was no one happier at some of those bigger plays late in the game than Tillman on the bench. He was going crazy when the camera cut to him. So he clearly wants to be here. It's just tough. I wish more reporters would ask Joe Mazzulla about this and why he's not playing him. But yeah, I'm willing to close the door shut mostly on the Xavier Tillman experience in Boston after one plus seasons.
Yeah, and it's like, and we were talking about this, and you even mentioned last night in the podcast how he was willing to take a pay cut to stay with Boston, and it's like now does he get that opportunity? Probably not, but it's like maybe he could get an opportunity elsewhere, or because I don't know, this might be a crazy take, but I think it either you have a Hornets team pick him up or something, or maybe he goes to the G League, but it's like he could really give himself an opportunity elsewhere. So it's like it's just the Celtics in a sense are holding him back. Like these are years he's not going to get back in the NBA and to play. And it's like there's still something there, I feel like, with Tillman. It's not like he's played terrible, and I'm going on about it, but ultimately too, like he had a game winner. It's like why don't you just try him out there? It's like the sample size that we've gotten from Tillman is so small, but again, it's not make or break with Xavier Tillman. I don't think playing him will really change this team, but I think for a player perspective, I think in a developmental year, as we've been calling it, this is a year where it's like, why not let him play? Why not? But ultimately, we're here to talk about this big Celtics win, and I was I was in shock. And one play I want to go back to, and then we could start getting into player stats, is at the end, Cade Cunningham lobs up that three. They end up calling the foul. And Jaylen Brown said after, ball don't lie, after the game. A little frustrated with that call, but what do you think the Boston Celtics did down the stretch in order to secure this win? Because one problem I see from the Celtics, they just need to work on a little bit is inbounding. Every time the Boston Celtics inbound in crunch time, I'm scared. I don't know about you, David, but it scares me. And it shouldn't be that hard to inbound the ball. We're not a high school team, we're an NBA team. And again, I'm not giving a lot of criticism. It gets on my nerves because it's scary. But what are your thoughts, David?
Yeah, so the inbounding is definitely frightening to watch for the Celtics because, like you said, you don't know what's going to come out of those plays for sure. Um, Obviously, that one at the end that almost got stolen that ended up with Derek White getting free throws, but that one got tipped around like a volleyball. That was that was scary, but luckily nothing came of that. There's another bounding too that scares me, and obviously we knew it was going to be a huge problem coming into this season for Boston with all the talent they lost. But that's the rebounding. I mean, in this game we got out rebounded 56-44. Detroit also out rebounded us in the offensive rebounding category 21-12. So I mean, we talked about this being a fun game, but it was not by any means a perfect game because of statistics like that where Boston got beat in the margin there. But to answer your original question of what we did to get this win down the stretch, I think it was just timely shot making and defense at the right time. You know, we had the pressure on Cade Cunningham at the end, and the ball got forced out of bounds. Derek White hit a lot of clutch 3 pointers. I mean, you said it, Griffin, where like this was, I agree, his best game of the season. Um, we could be getting ready to give him some more flowers here in a few minutes, but obviously we'll formalize that if it comes to that. But that felt like vintage Derek White there, like the Derek White of last year, the Derek White in the championship season. So love seeing that. And yeah, just really a gutsy win. I didn't love the fouling there, up three on Cade Cunningham, where it turned out that he shot 3 free throws. I personally think they should have let it play there when there's that little time left. You kind of just let them hurry and you live with the results. I get why they wanted a foul there because there was still enough time to be able to play that game, or you get them at the line. Then you drain a little bit more time left in the clock and add more points on your end if you get more free throws. But with less than 5 seconds left, or right around 5 seconds left, I'd rather let them just inbound it, get down the floor, and then just do your best to play good defense rather than try and mess around and foul them. Because obviously, as we saw, that almost came back to bite us. Where I think it was Jordan Walsh and Brown, or I forget who it was, but the two players wrapped up Cunningham, and they wrapped him up before he shot the ball, but he was in the motion. It's just too close to call. It's a bang bang play, and was he really shooting a 3 pointer? We'll have to see what the 2 minute report is tomorrow. But the point is, if something's as close as that, you can't expect the referees to give you the benefit of the doubt there. So that wasn't. That's one thing I would do differently. I mean, obviously, a little bit of luck came our way with winning this one because Cade Cunningham, as fate would have it, made the first 2 free throws and then missed the third and what would have been tying free throw. And then we got the rebound and then hit some more free throws. So a little bit of everything, honestly. Luck, execution offensively, and execution defensively. And these are the types of games where they throw me back to like the Isaiah Thomas days of the Celtics, where the teams with not enough talent but finding a way to get the job done as the feisty underdogs. But at the same time, you look at these games and it's like, dang, I wish Tatum was out there too. So it's bittersweet, these wins. I mean, obviously I explained it last night and I'm kind of going on for a while here, so I apologize for that. But I really am looking for more out of this team other than wins and losses this year, with it being a developmental season, like a bridge year for the Celtics. But it is tough, obviously, when your best player is not out there to be a part of these like great games. And we definitely be having a better record than 10-8 if number zero was out there. But take the season for what it is. That was a gutsy win, and the team's going to learn a lot from that. And it's always good to get clutch crunch time wins in the NBA with a younger squad.
Yeah, well said, David. Great analysis right there. And we're getting into the point of the time where, if you don't mind giving us the player stats too, some from the Pistons and then our beloved Celtic stats. I know, great night. I am, you know, these days it's not like last season where it's like when we lose, my night's completely ruined because it's a complete different team. But it's gonna feel nice to have Thanksgiving after a Celtics win tonight. But get into the player stats for us. I'll stop yapping where people are ready to hear this.
Yeah, so Cade Cunningham led the way for Detroit. In 36 minutes, he had 42 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists on 12 of 26 shooting from the field, 4 for 9 shooting from three, 14 for 16 shooting from the line. But obviously, he had that key miss at the end, but still an amazing game from Cade. Duren, the center, played 30 minutes. He had a double double, 12 points, 16 rebounds. Um, and then Tobias Harris in 27 minutes had 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And is it? I'm sorry. Is it Asar or Eamon Thompson? Is it Asar that's on
I
Detroit?
think it's a star, yeah. I think,
Asar
yeah, it's a,
Thompson.
right, right. Hold on,
I
let
believe
me.
it is.
Is it,
I think
all
Amos
right,
on the
I'll correct you on it in a second.
And Asar Thompson in 26 minutes had 8 points and 8 rebounds. Then leading the bench charge, Caris LeVert had
Asar
10 points
Thompson,
off the
sorry.
bench. Asar Thompson.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. And then Isaiah Stewart had 9 rebounds off the bench. So the Pistons played um, 10 players, and pretty much every single one of them made an impact one way or the other. But obviously, Cade Cunningham, the face of the franchise, leading the way. And then for the Celtics, Jalen Brown had a team high 33 points in 34 minutes to go with 10 rebounds and 5 assists. His efficiency was not great. He only shot 12 for 32 from the field, but he did hit 7 of his 8 free throws. And I thought this was one of those games where the stats don't tell everything, because you could tell early on Jalen Brown was keeping us in the game, even though he shot terribly. He was drawing contact and getting to that free throw line early and often. So that helped a ton. Then Derek White, 31 minutes, had 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. He was 7 of 13 from the field, 6 for 11 from three. Pretty much all of his production coming in that second half, helping us win this one. Peyton Pritchard in 34 minutes had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 for 10 from the field, 4 for 7 from deep. And then Baylor Shireman, believe it or not, off the bench. Your boy from the main development of the Maine Celtics last year.
Yeah.
30 minutes off the bench, had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 for 7 from the field, and 3 for 5 from three. Really helped us at that end of that first quarter and that second quarter. He did most of his magic in the first half there, which really helped the Celtics out a ton. And then, you know, the other big guy off the bench was Minot. In 19 minutes, he had 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. So, yeah, very, very similar there, where the bulk of the scoring came from a couple guys in the starting lineup for Boston, and then they got contributions across the board from other starters and people off the bench. But yeah, just obviously happy to get the job done. And even though as a whole the Celtics shot 44% from the field and 47% from deep and 88% from their line, so I will take those numbers any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, well said there. And again, Amari Williams got some playing time. Didn't have big numbers, but that was fun to watch as well. But we're getting into the part of the show where we are ready to give you your Celtics Nation Rise MVP. David, I wish I could give it to Baylor Shireman, but I'm giving it to
You can.
Derek. I don't think I will, though. Like, if we had more people on here, maybe, but it looked pretty bad on the poll on Instagram to be like Baylor Shireman or Derek White, because or Jalen Brown, whoever we go with. But I'm going Derek White. I think his efficiency tonight was just incredible, and hitting those clutch three throws at the end of the game was huge for me. And again, this is Derek White, where he's been struggling a lot. And I think, it's not like maybe he will see that we give him a Celtics Nation Rise MVP. But I loved what he did tonight. I thought, again, his efficiency was incredible. And I'm going Derek White for your Celtics Nation Rise MVP. I mean, he was incredible, and D White is back. D White is back. So I'm giving Derek White. But who do you have for your Celtics Nation Rise MVP, David?
I'm going to join you right there, Griffin. Derek White is going to be the Celtics Nation Rise MVP tonight. I mean, easily, as we've said a couple times on the program now, the best game of the season for him. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Not only was he knocking down shots at the end of the game, but he was playing some great defense on Detroit's wings. So just loved his game all around. And I mean, it's crazy too. Like this was his best game of the season, but he didn't even play a full game from start to finish consistently. He did all this pretty much in the second half. So it is maybe it's better, more appropriate to say his best half of the season, but I don't care. This constitutes a whole game. So hope Derek White can take this with him, positive momentum into the next few games, and yeah, I'm more than happy to be gifting the uh, the Buffalo Derek White with my nod for the Celtics Nation Rise MVP.
So your first time this season, Derek White is your Celtics Nation Rise MVP. Andrew is not here to do the clapping, but do we have any final thoughts before we close this win out, David? Again, 114 to 117. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, to all these people who want the team to tank, it's like if you want the team to tank, you don't get to enjoy fun games like this where you get to upset one of the best teams in the league. So just keep that in the back of your head the rest of the season, where this Celtics team is competing with the best teams in the league. We upset the Cavs earlier this season. We just had a great game against Detroit. Like this team's gonna be all right. This team's gonna be right in the mix with these upper echelon teams. They're gonna fight. They're gonna scrape. They're gonna claw. It's not gonna be pretty. Um, I would love if the Celtics were to put together a full, complete game. It's gonna happen at some point. It's happened already this season, but these games aren't going to be perfect with younger teams. But I mean, it's going to be fun to keep watching this team grow and develop. So good win. Hopefully, we can do it again against another playoff potential team, the Timberwolves on Saturday. Another 5 o'clock start, but yeah, just a fun night of basketball and a great way to go to sleep tonight, heading into the Thanksgiving day, knowing that the Celtics won a basketball game the night before.
Well said, David. And with that being said, you guys, happy Thanksgiving and thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications. Again, you guys, big win for the Boston Celtics. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys with the next one. Peace, guys.